Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and sometimes when people show you who they are, you've got to believe them. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. And if you're not watching us on YouTube, please check that address in the lower right-hand corner. It's youtube.com/@explainamerica. And when you get there, please hit subscribe, absolutely free. It really helps us out. You know, there have been 2 attempts on the life of former President Donald Trump in the past few months. There has been all kinds of political attacks from the right and the left over the course of these past few years. And I decry all of them. This is the United States of America. We solve our differences by voting, by protesting, by writing to your senator or congressman or even your president or vice president. This is how we get things done in America. We live in a democratic republic, and it's a beautiful thing. We're not like other nations where they solve their issues with war and with violence and with attacks. But then sometimes you understand that there are some people who are so thirsty for power that will not let go of it, that will hold on to it with both hands, that they're willing to do just about anything. Now, before I show you this video, I want to point out that this man said, "Oh, I don't mean literally slitting people's throats." But you have to know the environment you're in. You have to know what a dog whistle is to people who are psychotic. At the same time, he was saying and admitting openly he doesn't want to play fair with Trump. Defeat him by any means necessary. Doesn't care if they cheat. Does not care. This is a man who has worked for some of the most powerful Democrats in Washington, D.C. There is a documentary coming about this man. And his name is James Carville. This is not some fly-by-night internet personality. This is a guy deep entrenched in the Democrat Party talking about this stuff. I want you to watch this video and then let me know what you think in the comments.
Democrats don't care if you're disrespected. Whatever it takes to win. Carville says, time to play dirty.
And I'm really not interested in being very fair about the whole goddamn thing. Okay? I really don't think we should have fought fair against the Germans and the Japanese. I think we should have, snuck around them, and I think we should have, gone behind enemy lines and cut their throats, because that was what it was at stake. I think we're literally approaching the same place right now. And I'm not talking about, everybody stop, don't faint. I'm not talking about actually slitting a political opponent's throats.
After Trump survived 2 assassination attempts, Democrats are calling him Hitler, saying it's time to slit throats. So it means it's time for...
New hoax alert. New hoax alert. New hoax alert.
The left's biggest hoax chef, Jeffrey Goldberg at The Atlantic, has cooked up a doozy. Says Trump admired Hitler. There's no recordings of this, and everyone says it's baloney. But the VP, who swallows hoaxes to go with her word salads, ran to the cameras.
It is deeply troubling and incredibly dangerous that Donald Trump would invoke Adolf Hitler, the man who is responsible for the deaths of 6 million Jews and hundreds of thousands of Americans. Donald Trump is someone who, I quote, certainly falls into the general definition of fascist, who in fact vowed to be a dictator on day one and vowed to use the military as his personal militia.
She was quoting Kelly there. Kamala is asking for trouble. She knows the Secret Service can barely protect 45. She's playing with fire. She knows it. And so's the White House.
So just to be clear, when you said we do agree, President Biden believes that Donald Trump is a fascist.
I mean, yes, we have said. He said himself. The former president has said he is going to be a dictator on day one. We cannot ignore that.
So in 24 hours, the highest levels of the Democrat establishment have called Trump a Nazi who should be locked up and have his throat slit. If Donald Trump wins, how are we going to have a peaceful transition? The left is saying Trump's a dictator who's going to turn the military on them. They're just going to hand him the keys to the White House and pretend like he's Mitt Romney. They're not just smearing Trump. They're saying half the country's Hitler. Listen.
It doesn't so much matter that Donald Trump is selling fascism. What really matters is that roughly half of Americans, including a clear majority of American men, are buying it. The average American man is saying yes to fascism right now. Why?
In the last week, they've said American men are sexist fascists, whose only chance of getting lucky in bed is if they vote for Kamala. They're admitting they have Trump derangement syndrome.
I'm an optimistic person. I'm not hysterical. I laugh when people say